is June 14th, 2025, and right now across the United States, things later will be ramping up as we do have flood watches across the mid-Atlantic to northeast as well as down here in Texas and Louisiana, but we are going to have a severe weather threat later today, and it could cause a little bit of flooding as well. Now, for today, we do have a slight risk over here, kind of in the Rocky Mountains, northern plains, so South Dakota, Montana, western half of Nebraska, and a little bit of northeastern Wyoming. We could be seeing some slight risk of severe weather. We do have a very large marginal risk across the whole plains over here, and we also have a small one over here by Virginia and Maryland. Tornado threat, it's not going to be real big. It should be a threat to worry about too much. However, we can have a tornado here and there as we do have a 2% in our original location for slight risk and also one where at the Kansas and Oklahoma border. For the hail threat, we do have a slight hatched risk over here in Montana and Wyoming for some hail, and a large 5% for hail across the plains and over here by Virginia and Maryland. Threat, we only have a slight risk of, again with our original slight risk zone with the 5% over most of the plains, and over here by the Mid-Atlantic, we can be experiencing some wind. And then for tomorrow, the slight risk and, the marginal risk are going to be at the same. This one over here by Virginia will be moving down to the North Carolina border. And the slight risk, it's just moving east just a little bit. Not much is really changing, though, with this. And then day 3, we already have a slight risk for the northern plains or Minnesota, northern Iowa, South Dakota, and northern portions of Nebraska. We do have a marginal risk that does surround that for our slight areas. Outlook for day 4 with a severe 15% chance over here in basically the heartland of the United States, Kansas, Nebraska, northeastern portions of Colorado, northern half of Missouri, and southern Iowa. We could be seeing a chance of severe weather. We do even have one for day 5 over here in the Great Lakes and Midwest. So from Missouri to Michigan, we could be seeing some severe weather. Now today for excessive rainfall, we do have one over here in the plains for Kansas and Oklahoma. We did have flood watches over here at Virginia last night. We did have some flash flooding over here as well. So keep in mind of that. In day 2, the areas that we had slight risk for yesterday are just going to continue the same. Over here by, the 4 corner states of Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Even over here in Virginia and West Virginia and North Carolina, we could be seeing some flooding as well. Now, how much rain could we be seeing with all these storms? So if we go on the ARRR model to 18 hours in, so throughout the rest of the day, we do see that areas over here in Kansas and Oklahoma could be seeing a lot of rain. I mean, up to 6 inches of rain possible over here. We're going to have quite the flooding event going on over here in Kansas and Oklahoma. Now, 6 inches, I don't know, again, if that seems likely that's going to happen. That might be a little excessive of an amount, but, always be prepared for that amount. And over here by Virginia, we could be seeing, places could be seeing up to 4, maybe even 5 inches. Even over here in Texas, we could be seeing a lot of rain as well. So even some areas that's not, dealing with much flash flooding, we could still be seeing a lot of rain still. Future temperature and precipitation outlook throughout the rest of the week, basically, majority of the country is going to be warmer than average unless you're in the Pacific Northwest. You'll probably be seeing, cooler than average temperatures, which I would call it lucky as, summer can get real hot. Next week for precipitation, it's kind of strange. Over here in the northern and southern parts of the country, we could be seeing more than average of precipitation, while the central and a little bit of the east coast could be seeing drier than average conditions, or even near normal conditions for precipitation. For the next week to 2 weeks, we will be having, most of the east coast, we're going to be having heat building up over here throughout the plains and east of that. Pacific Northwest and maybe even a little bit of southern Texas, we might catch a break on cooler temperatures still, but over the Appalachians especially, we could be seeing higher than average temperatures. For the precip, it's basically going to be the same thing throughout the 6-a-day precipitation, so I don't really need to go over it. Now, throughout the rest of the country, we are going to be seeing this rain move through the East Coast out into the Atlantic. However, we may have a couple of low disturbances move through over here in the East Coast. We could be having one that could be causing more rain. And even over here, we have, some thunderstorms that might be moving through us, severe weather could be happening. Now, that stuff will move out, and then we could even have more coming back over here in the northern plains. That moisture over here in the East Coast is still going to be moving on through us, so still more rain over here. And then that's basically, going to keep on happening. We will see some breaks here, maybe throughout a day or two, and then it's going to immediately start raining. We might even have another low pressure system form over, the Great Lakes region, moving with all that moisture move through. So that could cause flooding and a bunch of severe weather. And then even over here into the late bit of June, it might even be a little bit dry until we see a low pressure system. Now, when I say might, I'm saying that because, things could always change, but at least be somewhat aware and somewhat be expected of what that could be happening. That's going to be the end of the hunt weather video today. It might be a little bit short because, it's been a week since I've been making weather videos. I am also trying to see if I can make weather videos live, as I am trying to make it interactive and become maybe one of the first YouTube channels to actually have that. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.